Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome to my first reaction to episode 25 of Death Note. We are back in business. Ryuk is back, baby, and they both have their memories of the Death Note, and Misa has the Shinigami eyes again. The girl needs some self-respect, I swear. The fact that she so easily bends over backwards for light is kind of infuriating at times. I know why she's infatuated with him, but it just feels like that's all her personality is, that she's infatuated with light and that she'll do anything for light. And they kind of gave more life to Naomi in like 2 episodes than they have for Misa. They don't actually really treat her as a character in the same way that they treat all the other characters. She's just kind of there to drive the narrative forward, which is kind of sad because again, Naomi was in for like 2-3 episodes and she had a lot more depth to her and a lot more life to her than Misa's been given across the whole series so far. So it's really beginning to kind of irk me how she's written, and that they just really don't seem to care, that they're not developing her as a character, they're not really giving any substance to her beyond this infatuation with light. And it's sad. It's really sad to see. But hey, look, it's their writing, not my writing. It's their call to make, not my call to make. I think it's just really kind of sad that you have this character that could be a lot more interesting, you could do a lot with, and you're just kind of not doing it. It's kind of frustrating to see and kind of frustrating to watch. But yeah. If you enjoy these types of reacts, please consider leaving a like and a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. If you are new here, I am Sophie. I have a doctorate in literature. On this channel, we like to deep dive, analyze, and look at character development themes and symbolism across anime. I'm just getting back into anime. It's taken me 16 years to get back into anime. I haven't watched it since I was 14. I've been loving every single minute of it. And if this sounds like the type of channel that you would like to watch on the regular, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm so very scared for L at this point in time. I feel his journey is coming to an end now that Light has the Death Note back, he has his memories back, but also the fact that he really cannot allow L to live now that L fundamentally knows how the Death Note works, but also that Shinigami exists. I don't know if he's going to kill everybody on the task force. I'm not sure if he will go that far, but I think if it covers his tracks, he might, because it would silence everybody. But maybe it could be that he sees if he takes out L, then naturally the Kira investigation will either fall apart or he will step into that role because everybody else has already cleared him. So in their eyes, he is not guilty by any means. So who knows, really? Who knows? But without further ado, we are going to get into episode 25. So this is a flashback? Is it an orphanage? If this is an L flashback, he's dying in this episode. I'm telling you that for nothing. It is. Fuck. He's gonna die in this episode. Oh, baby L. Did Watery adopt him, or did Watery take him to the orphanage?
Ryuzaki, is something the matter? What is it? What's wrong?
He knows he's going to die. At least that's what I think. He knows.
Interesting. The corner of the page of this notebook has been torn off. Can you kill someone just by writing their name on a piece?
Yes.
Can't say. I've never tried using it like that, and I don't know of anyone who has.
You're finally free to leave headquarters on your own, but it seems like you never go out. Even when Misa comes to visit, you only chat with her for a few minutes outside. You do realize you're free to have a relationship with her now.
That can wait until we've managed to solve this case. I'm not in the mood for love or anything else right now.
He's not letting him out of his
Are you
sight.
suggesting that I'll be a nuisance for staying here?
No.
It's like the Grim Reaper hanging over you, essentially.
Misa, let's create a new world together.
I'm so scared.
Careful what you do, 'cause God is watching your every move. Hold my hand in the
This is
dark
so
street,
eerie.
for if you do, I know that I'll be safe. Even if I'm far away and alone, I can be sure that you'll find me there. This I know. You draw me close for a while.
Because she's not singing about God, she's singing about light.
Everything. If I forget what you say, then you'd come to me and tell me again. But what happens when I know it all? Then what should I do after that? What then?
You'll be dead. Because once you run your use, he has no qualms getting rid of you, Misa. I want you to come to that realization.
It's safe to say that Higuchi was the one killing criminals until we apprehended him.
Then this means we're dealing with yet another Kira.
Oh man, not again!
That's how I feel, Matsuda.
Damn you, Kira.
Another Kira's appeared? What's going on here?
It's fucking
I can't
Misa.
believe this. It has to be Misa.
These killings began as soon as Misa was free, didn't they?
Exactly.
You still going on about that?
Yes,
She has nothing
because
to do with
it's
this.
not a coincidence, like...
This started as soon as Higuchi died.
I suppose you're right. Oh well, if there is another notebook floating around out there and someone is now using it to kill fools, I'll just have to bring that person to justice.
It's almost like the potato chip scene, but with like little panda
Shinigami
cookies.
insisted that it didn't know. But if someone were able to kill simply by writing a name on a torn piece of the notebook, it's not impossible.
Will we really be able to legally convict and punish them for mass homicide?
What? Of course we can convict them. This guy's intentionally writing names in the notebook, knowing that these people are going to die. Even if we don't plan on publicly acknowledging the notebook, the least we can do is execute the killer.
It's not a very humane way to do things, but the higher-ups would probably want to take measures like that.
Is that only clicking with Rem that like if Misa's caught, she will die?
What are you thinking, like Yagami? Making Misa kill again? She'll be caught, and once that happens, you'll also be... So that's what your plan is. You're truly disgusting.
He wants Misa caught, so then she
Like
meets
Yagami
Elle
is certain that I will do
again.
anything to help Misa and save her life. And at this point, the only way for me to save Misa is to
Is
write
to kill
Ryuzaki's
Elle.
real name in my notebook. And if I kill Ryuzaki,
And then she'll die.
it would mean that I deliberately lengthened Misa's life, and I will die as well.
What are you gonna do, Rem? You may be a Shinigami, but you can't hide the fact that you care for Misa.
You're an
There's no way you
ass.
would turn
Oh
your
my
back on her
god.
now, after she's already halved her lifespan twice. Come on. Think
So then
about
the
Misa's
Shinigami eyes
happiness.
technically didn't matter. She didn't have to do the deal. Because if Rem's just gonna do it anyway, then what's the point? God, you're such a dick, like... Oh, Elle. What are you doing?
What are you doing standing out there by yourself? What are you doing standing out there by yourself?
Can't hear you. That's one of the few times we ever see Elle smile. He's dying this episode. I'm calling it. They're doing too much.
What are you doing, Ryuzaki?
Oh, I'm not doing anything in particular. It's just... I hear the bell. The sound of the bell has been unusually loud today.
I don't hear anything.
It's been ringing non-stop all day. I find it very distracting.
What are you getting at, Ryuzaki? Come on, cut it out. Let's get back
A
inside.
funeral.
I'm sorry. Nothing I say makes any sense anyway. If I were you, I wouldn't believe any of it.
This is so sad. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I think I'm getting emotional because I convinced myself he's going to die in this episode, which is really silly because if it doesn't happen, then I've cried over nothing. But like I've gaslit myself at this point into thinking that it's going to happen because of the slight backstory we had, and also the little bits of foreshadowing where it kind of looks like Light is almost a Grim Reaper figure, and then just him being out in the rain. I think it just breaks my heart that like there is nothing Elle can essentially do. Like he is kind of at a loss here. He is playing against a dangerous enemy, and just his sense of hopelessness is just heartbreaking.
Tell me, Light, from the moment you were born, has there ever been a point where you've actually told the truth?
Or is this going to be like a big wake-up call?
Where's this coming from, Ryuzaki? I do admit I stretch the truth here and there. However, find me one person in this world who's never had to tell a lie. It wouldn't be easy. Even so, I've always made a conscious effort to be careful not to tell a lie that could hurt others. That's my answer.
I mean, you have, because you're Kira, and you've lied that you're not Kira.
Something like that. Well, that was certainly an unpleasant outing.
It's your own fault. I mean, what did you expect?
You're right. Sorry.
What are you doing?
I thought I might help you out. You were busy wiping yourself off anyway.
Look, it's fine. You don't have to do that.
I can give you a massage as well. It's the least I can do to atone for my sins.
Fine, do what you want.
All right.
I could see this being a scene that Light and Elle shippers adored. Reminds me of like the disciples that wash Jesus's feet, or the sinners that wash Jesus's feet. It has Christian symbolism. Jesus washes the feet of his disciples, which is supposed to teach humility, service, love, worship, but also it's supposed to be a comment on do unto others what I do unto you. So about replicating love and acceptance and humility and applying that in how you treat everyone else around you. But it's also an act of forgiveness. And that's what's making me feel like he's gonna die this episode, because in washing his feet, it's almost as if Elle is saying, I forgive you for killing me. I already have absolved you of that sin, essentially. That's kind of how I'm reading it. It's an act of forgiveness.
Here.
Almost as if he knows it's inevitable that he's going to die.
I'm sorry.
I bet Light enjoys this. This episode is so emotional.
It'll be lonely, won't it? You and I will be parting ways soon.
He knows. He knows.
Yes? I understand. I'm on my way.
I'm not going to be able to watch this. I'm already crying. And there's no guarantee that he's going to die. But it just feels like that's what he's building to. And even though I knew it was eventually going to happen, my heart is going to break. because he doesn't deserve it. Though some might argue that he does deserve it, but not necessarily for the reasons that Light gives as a justification. And if he doesn't die in this episode, I'm gonna look so fucking stupid crying, but I think he knows. And like I said, the washing of his feet, it's an act of forgiveness. And just, it's gonna be lonely. Me and you are gonna part ways soon. And I'm a fucking emotional wreck crying over the possibility, which isn't confirmed, but I'm like 99% sure that that's what's gonna happen, that he's going to die. We've only 15 more minutes of this episode left as well.
Ryuzaki, what's the meaning of all this? You've somehow gotten approval from another country to use the notebook for an execution?
Watari.
Misa.
Excellent work, thank you.
Not at all.
I'm gonna try out the notebook for real.
We can't do that, and there's no point in testing it now when we already know the notebook's power is real.
And besides, who's gonna write the name?
The person who will write in the book is a criminal scheduled to be executed in just over 13 days. If he's still alive 13 days after writing the name, he'll be pardoned from execution.
But still, to sacrifice a
We're
life.
very close. If we work this out, the entire case will be solved.
What is this? A blackout?
No, no, what are we?
Watari?
Data deletion? What the hell's going on?
I told Watari to make sure that he should erase all information in the event that something were to happen to him.
Disappeared.
What's going on?
Everyone. The Shinigami.
Oh no!
What's wrong?
Rem, why? And he's gonna fake mourn, and everyone's not gonna know.
Ryuzaki, come on. Snap out of it.
What happened? What's going on? Calm down, Light.
We're gonna die! Watari, Ryuzaki, it'll be us next! Where are you, Shinigami? Come out!
Wait, Light.
You know something about this, don't you? Come on out!
How is Misa gonna feel about Rem dying? All for her. Oh, Rem. She deserved better. They all did.
There's something here!
What the hell is this stuff?
Whatever happens next, I swear I'll avenge Ryuzaki's death. We're going to solve this case in honor of him and for Watari and all the other victims. If you're afraid of dying, then leave the investigation. We put our lives on the line when we chose to be here.
Yeah, that's true. But It's weird hearing you say that. You sound like Ryuzaki.
I'm so angry. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen this episode. So I feel like validated for crying earlier before he actually died.
I am the god of the new world.
I'm so angry. I don't want to watch this show anymore. I'm so pissed off. I knew it was going to be this episode. There was just too much going on for it to not be this episode. And the fact that he knew that he was going to die and still just decided to forgive him in that moment. I don't understand. Oh God, he's a bigger person than I am. I could not. Like, what the fuck? And watery. I didn't expect watery. I guess it's collateral damage, but like, fuck. Watery didn't deserve that. Elle didn't deserve to die that way. Rem didn't deserve to die that way. All for Light's ego, and that's what makes me so angry, is that like none of these characters deserve to die. And it's all for his self-serving purposes. I'm so sad. I feel validated somewhat for crying earlier because my gut was correct. Even though I feel stupid for crying way before he actually died, I feel incredibly validated, especially because my theory that he was going to take over from Elle after he got rid of him is also true. So now what we're going to see is a Light that completely thwarts all investigation on himself, and eventually we're going to see Misa probably die because there's no one looking after her anymore. There's no one looking out for Misa's best interest because the only person doing that was Rem, and Rem's gone. How is Misa gonna react to that? I don't know. How could Misa ever forgive Light for that? I feel like she'll have to, because it'll be the way that they write her, that she'll forgive Light for anything so long as he says it was for her protection and for her best interest. So she'll not even question it, even though Rem did everything for Misa and she deserves better. And Misa deserves to gain some self-recognition and some self-respect away from fucking Light Yagami. Just, oh my goodness. And then the bell, for whom the bell tolls, it's a symbol of death. It's the significance of your time is coming to an end. The symbol is very profound in terms of bells toll when somebody has passed. And it's a symbol of funerals and mourning. And, you know, the reason that he's hearing the bells is because he knows that his time is coming to an end, that he is going to be the one that inevitably dies. But what fucks me off is that Light is going to go on this whole pretend vengeance arc that justifies him being in the position that he's in, and it's all going to be, I do everything to avenge Elle, and it's all going to be in his memory when he's the one that's forced Rem to kill Elle. And yeah, he didn't do it by his hand, but it's what he wanted. It was his design, and just, it makes me so annoyed. I knew when Elle was wiping his feet, that was significant, that was because it's their final moments together. And I guess in that final moment, especially when he says to him, like, it's going to be lonely because we're about to part ways, and the only person that Light could ever truly talk to on an intellectual level was Elle. So it's Elle's recognition of like, you're not gonna have anyone to talk to in the way that you talk to me. And I really want Light to have like a moment of recognition. I really want Light to have a moment of recognition going forth of, I regret killing Elle, but I don't think he'll ever have that moment of recognition. It'd be kind of ironic if he ever does end up regretting killing Elle, because it's like, well, you killed the only person that you genuinely could have been friends with. And again, the emotional gut punch of this episode is because we have just spent 4 or 5 episodes of watching them collaborate with one another, watching them bounce off of one another, building up that friendship, building up that connection, acting almost like brothers, only for this to be the inevitable end. And I knew it was going to be the inevitable end. I knew that Light was going to kill him as soon as he got his memories back. It's the bittersweetness of knowing what their relationship could have been if the Death Note had never fallen into his hands. I'm so sad. Just the minute I knew it was an L flashback in terms of him being there with Watery, and it kind of looked like an orphanage, so it kind of maybe looks like Watery adopted him, and it's like Watery reached out to him at the end because he sees L as like a son, and in his last moments is doing whatever he can to protect L, and or at least protect L's legacy by deleting valuable information and valuable data. So even in his final moments, his only thought is L, doing what he can to protect him. And it's just so sad that he died alone with L there, and L didn't get to be with him in his own final moments. It's just really tragic. I don't really have too much more to say because I'm just very sad, as you can tell, and I keep crying. So obviously we know now what the arc is going to be, and it's this fake vengeance, this attempt to get at Kira, but I can see Misa dying soon as well because he has no use for her. Yeah, she has the Shinigami eyes, but what was the use of her making that deal if he was just going to coerce Rem into doing it anyway? I guess like the eyes are going to come in handy at some point in time. They can't just be for nothing, but it's not for the reason we initially thought it was going to be. I am going to go and stop crying now. I'm going to go make myself a very nice hot drink to kind of cheer myself up because this was horrible. And I'm going to go get a donut as a sweet treat and in honor of Elle, who didn't deserve to die that way. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to do. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm and allow other people to see my horrible crying face at this episode. And until next time, bye.